Let's go over all the games happened on Sunday night. Let's get into it. The first game is the Wizards beating the Celtics 104-91. The Wizards, they are still last place, but if they go on a winning streak, you never know. They might be in a playoff hunt because the entire Eastern Conference sucks this season. Boston is obviously disappointing. They're 13-13. They made it to the conference finals this year. Just not clicking at the moment. Mainly, a big problem is their interior. Daniel Theis, Tristan Thompson, those guys are not exactly can help you win a championship. I don't know. Jason Tatum struggled from the field. That's what he does from time to time. 6 points. He'd be better than this for sure. By low, but he was never gonna be like a top 10 guy. He doesn't have that one category where it just be like wow, can really wow you. He is after this game ranked. Where's Tatum? 21st. He can be in the top 20 per game. But this guy doesn't get injured. That's why in some draft you get this guy in the first round, end of first round, because he simply doesn't miss that many games. Obviously due to COVID, he missed a lot of games. You can't really foresee that. Sammy Ojale, not worried about him. Play high minutes doesn't matter. Daniel Theis struggled along with Tristan Thompson. You still roster Daniel Theis, see what happens. He's been playing quite well. It's just one bad game versus the Wizards. Although if you're playing the Wizards, everybody should put up big stats, right? Jalen and Kemba put up great stats, 25 points each. Jalen Brown still 52%. He's ranking, he shot 1 for 3 from the free throw line. His ranking has fallen off quite a bit, ranked 30th. If he continue miss free throws, which he's very capable of doing, miss free throws, he'll be like a top 40. I think he'll be top 40. I still think his efficiency is gonna fall off a bit. We'll see. And Kemba Walker, 9 for 18. He's still ramping up. The minutes, he didn't play high minutes. He will give you all the good, nice guard stats, but he's not gonna give you a lot of assists. He's not gonna give you a lot of steals. It's good to see Robert Williams playing 10 minutes, filled up the stat sheet, 1 steal and 1 block. But just want to see this guy get 20 to 20 minutes would be really really good in fantasy, given the minutes. And on the Wizards side, Bradley Beal, great game. Only took 18 shots. Because he went to the free throw line 11 times. 35 points here. I think Beal is a top 10 guy on a per game basis, but because they have more games and he doesn't miss games. Although curiously, the Wizards decided to rest him on Friday. So that's somewhat concerning. Otherwise, a great game here. Russell Westbrook continue to be continue to destroy a field goal and free throw. And only 3 turnovers this game, so we just hope at some point is he gonna turn around or is he gonna shoot sub 40% for the rest of the season? We don't know. On the Rockets last year, he was struggling, because he got to a new team. But toward the end of the season, he went on a hot streak, like averaging over 30 points and shooting 50% every single game. Once he figured out, I don't know. Westbrook, it's a headache to own for sure. You can still buy low, like throw him a Norman Powell plus another overperformed player. Right, just buy low with guys that just only have short-term value, like Thaddeus Young. Just buy low. And if you got him on your team, if you can't hold him anymore, just drop. But he'll be scooped up immediately because the assist, the most important stat category Westbrook provides is the assist. You will never get a guy that can give you 8-9 assists consistently every game and even 9 rebounds. I still expect his steal numbers to go up as well. So we'll see from Westbrook rest of the season. Nobody on Rui Hachimura, no, you can't just drop him and never look back. 22 minutes, nothing else. And Davis Bertans, still disappointing, 2 for 7. I haven't seen him really shoot the ball over 50%. Let me change my camera real quick. I'm still for a game where he shoots over 50%. Every time I look over, he is pretty poor from the field. And, hopefully he can turn it on at some point. Let's go on to the next game. And Alex Lang, it's just weird, the center rotation. He started the past 2 games and didn't even play this game. Maybe it's matchup based. So really nobody on the Wizards at the center spot you want to roster. Maybe stream, but there's a possibility, you stream Alex Lang, he doesn't even play. The next game, Minnesota Timberwolves, they win, beating the Toronto Raptors. Raptors struggling, Minnesota, they're tanking. But Karl Anthony Towns is not slowing down. Struggle from the free throw line, but otherwise everything is great. So great. 11 rebounds, 3 assists. And the steal numbers for Cat this season has been up as well. That's good. Like once he's once he's getting you those steals, he's fifth ranked player, averaging only 0.9 steals and 3.6 assists is nice. 3 blocks really strong. As long as he's playing, you'd be happy. Top 5 guy. Malik Beasley continued to be crazy good. Shot 54% from the field, 20.6 assists and a steal. Anthony Edwards, he's a roster until D'Lo comes back, I think. But you know what stat he's gonna give you? He's gonna give you some scoring, low efficiency, nothing else. Ricky Rubio with D'Lo out, yeah, you want to stream him 5 assists here. You need to give you assists and steals. And Naz Reid for sure, you want to drop him. Vanderbilt started only 23 minutes. Him and Naz Reid, given the minutes, they put up big stats, but 20, if they play 20 minutes every single game, it's hard to roster them. You can stream them if they have a back-to-back. Otherwise, it's hard to hold on to them. On the Raptors side, Norman Powell continued to shoot 67%. Trade Norman Powell for Westbrook. Trade Norman Powell for Andre Drummond. Right? Actually, I just saw the news that Drummond is not going to play until he gets traded. So just trade those guys. Because I do believe his value is going to take a hit when OG comes back and when his shooting fall off. He mainly give you points and efficiency then. And I think the volume, once his shooting falls off and OG comes back, he's not going to have both. Right? He's going to be droppable. Siakam had a great game, 18 points. Filled up the stat sheet. He should be a top 50 player in my opinion. Moving forward, well, Aaron Baines and Chris Boucher. Minnesota, they got a cat inside, so maybe it's not a good idea to play Chris Boucher. It's so literally matchup based and how well Chris Boucher is playing. So he's going to be so up and down. He's still a top 50 guy due to his upside in blocks. In 18 minutes, he blocked you 1 shot. And he's a pretty good free throw guy. Doesn't really hurt you anywhere. Not a big turnover guy either. So you obviously still roster him. But at this point, we already know. It's basically lottery from night to night. How many minutes Chris Boucher is going to play. Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry. I worry about Kyle Lowry's minutes. I really do. It's a trend every single year. 24 points here, good. 2 steals is good, and really good from the free throw line as well. Great game from Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet. His field goal is going to be low. 6 assists, no defensive stats. He was on a hot streak, blocking shots, getting the steals. Right, for the season he's averaging 1.7 steals, which I believe that can stick. 0.7 blocks, I don't think so. Let's move on to the next game. The San Antonio Spurs beating the Charlotte Hornets. Oh yeah, the big news here is I think it came out yesterday. LaMarcus Aldridge is going to be out for a while without a timetable. He's old. He might be out for a long time, and when he does come back, we don't know how many minutes he's gonna get. So it's for sure. It's you gotta drop this guy, right? You gotta drop him. If he's somehow still roster, you drop him. Unless you're in like a 18 team league. Jacob Putter is a must roster. He's putting up, I don't know what level. He's got to be a top 30 player last week. 1 steal and 4 blocks. Just the blocks number alone is really good. He's give you all the big man stats. Good field goal, good rebound, good steals, good blocks. Even steals, he give you a lot of steals last week as well. So you must roster. Go grab this guy. So is Derek White. Really popped off this game. 4 steals, 4 assists, 25 points. And I talked about Derek White many times. He doesn't really have that one category that you just go wow. But as a point guard, he blocks shots. He can give you the assists and steals. The assists and blocks, I think, probably very valuable to find on the waiver wire. Right? Block, usually the guys you find on the waiver wire is they give you blocks and nothing else, and they play 15 minutes. Like a Derek White, give you blocks, can give you 1 block a game, and can give you the assists and steals and points, everything. Devante Murray shot the ball 22 times. That's interesting. Great efficiency from the free throw line, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Devante should be a top 60 guy. Majority of his value should be assists, steals, and rebounds. But whenever he scores over 20 points, that's a big win. With Aldridge out, right? Everybody should pick up the slack. Interestingly, DeMar DeRozan only took 8 shots. He's still a top 50 guy pretty comfortably. 9 assists and 2 steals is really nice. 8 points. He'll be better than this. Keldon Johnson, another great game. He has fallen off quite a bit, but picked it up. Patty Mills, you can stream him for points. Pretty consistently giving you the points and threes. Only 10 points here, though. Rudy Gay, same thing, doesn't hurt you anywhere. But the minutes with him is very, very low. He's playing around 20 to 25 minutes, so no upset. Whenever there's a back-to-back, you can stream him. And oh boy, on the Hornets side, Devante Graham played the first half and left the game. He got hurt last week or so. Was out for a couple games, came back and hurt again. We don't know when he's going to be back. And when he does come back, there's a good possibility he might get benched. So I would be, depending on how severe the injury is, if he plays the next game, sure. But I would just drop him. The only thing he's giving you is really the assist, right? And let's talk about Lamellar Ball. 40 minutes, 39 minutes, he is freed. Obviously because some injuries, right? But he was a minus 16. But look at the stat line: 17 points, 3 threes, bad efficiency, sure, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals in the block. I think he's probably the best rookie over maybe the past 4 or 5 years. The last time a rookie was this good in fantasy, I'm talking about fantasy only. Donovan Mitchell had a top 50, 60 season, but LaMelo right now it's top 30, top 40. Maybe Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns was a top 20 player his rookie year. Because of big man, right? He was very efficient from the free throw line, obviously from the field. Grab you good rebound blocks and some points. But LaMelo really, really strong, top 30, 40. If you picked up this guy on the waiver wire, yeah, you're doing really well. Cody Zeller, 21 minutes, double-double. You still roster him, but the upside is the main thing is you're not getting that high minutes. It's really matchup based. Sometimes, big men today in the NBA, they're not gonna consistently get 30 minutes unless you Joel Embiid or Karl Anthony Towns. Miles Bridges played 36 minutes. Filled up the stat sheet. You definitely want to stream him. Obviously, Gordon Hayward is also out this game. You want to stream until PJ Washington comes back. If Miles Bridges get 30 minutes, he does have some value. Terry Rozier went off. This is a sell high, man. He shot over 50% again last game. This game, everybody's out. Gordon Hayward is out. Devante Graham had hurt himself. So I think it's a sell high. I don't really see Terry Rozier being a top 40 player, which he is right now at the moment. What a surprise. He's getting drafted really late. He's 31st ranked player. Maybe a top 60 player. The main thing with him is he just give you some scoring, some threes. He's not a big assist guy, and historically he hasn't. Over the years, he was never a big steals guy, and this season he's been giving you 1.3 steals. A sell high. I think a perfect sell high would be. What would be a perfect sell high? I would trade him for Brandon Ingram. I would trade him for OG Anunoby if you want those defensive stats, because OG 2.1 steals and 0.5 blocks is really, really good and good efficiency. I think all those guys will finish better than Terry Rozier off the season. This is going to be his highest peak, 31st ranked. I think he'll go down from here, I think, in my opinion. Malik Monk also got 30 minutes, had a pretty good game. But remember, everybody's out. So, their number one player, Gordon Hayward, is out. And you got PJ Washington, you got Devante Graham missing the second half. So, yeah. So, let's move on to the next game. New Orleans Pelicans losing to Detroit. I don't know how Detroit is picking up wins. Brandon Ingram struggling from the field. Good from the free throw line. 7 assists is good. Finally see him getting that 1 steal, 26 points. Zion Williamson, 50% from the field, good from the free throw line. If Zion can be an 80% free throw line, I think he's like a top 20 player pretty comfortably, right? 2 blocks is real nice. Steven Adams had one of his best games, a double-double. He was really close to droppable because the only thing he gives you is the rebound. And you just can't find so many guys on the waiver wire can give you good rebound, like can grab you 7, 8. So you can roster him if you want those rebound and field goal. But just remember, some nights, big men in the NBA, they're just, if you're not the superstar, you're not going to get 30 minutes consistently. Some nights you just only get 20. Eric Bledsoe, yeah, drop, for sure. Some of you probably streamed him this week because, Pelicans got 4 games, but look at this stat line. And still no steals. His steals are not coming back. There's no point holding him. You can stream him for a little bit of guard stat, but really disappointing for Eric Bledsoe. He was getting drafted in the 70s or 80 range, right? just disappointing. See him play. Well, specifically the steals, right? If you give me 1.5 steals, it's worth holding on to him. But this season he's averaging, I don't know, 0.7, 0.8. Forget about him. Lonzo Ball, 13 points, 3 assists, an okay game from Lonzo. Josh Hart only grabs you three rebounds. Yeah, a guy like that can give you 7, 8 rebounds. You're better off probably just streaming the spot for rebound than holding on to Steven Adams. Nikhil Alexander will play 8 minutes. Really, really interesting decisions from the coach. While Kira Lewis Jr. plays 17. JJ Redick play 8. I don't know, mainly the starters getting majority of the minutes and the bench guys really, other than Josh Hart get 20 minutes, I wouldn't stream anybody at this point. They're basically playing 6-7 man rotation. Let's move on. Let's look at the Detroit side. Jeremy Grant, he started struggling. I would buy low on him. I would trade Terry Rozier for Jeremy Grant. I wouldn't think twice. Maybe throwing another guy, Terry Rozier plus Norman Powell for Jeremy Grant, right? Terry Rozier plus Thaddeus Young for Jeremy Grant. Terry Rozier plus plus any guy who has some short-term value but no term value for Jeremy Grant. Sadiq Bey, that's the big news here. Blake Griffin did not play. Sadiq Bey went off. 16 points, 3 steals is the most important thing, and very interestingly got you 6 assists. Don't know if he's a good assist guy, but he's worth a look if Blake Griffin continues to miss games. Like I said, this Detroit team is going to be very different once we get to the end of the season. We don't know when that will be. Like guys like Mason Plumlee, guys like Blake Griffin, guys like they traded away Derrick Rose. The guys like Wayne Ellington shouldn't even be getting minutes. So it would just be a free for all once we get to the end of the season, and those guys will be getting huge minutes. Like Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant should still not be the number one. Sadiq Bey, Josh Jackson, Isaiah Stewart, even, right? Those guys maybe at some point will be free getting 30 minutes, and those guys can give you good values. Mason Plumlee got his first triple double. He's a sell high in my opinion. He hurt his elbow. Was out for a couple games. I just don't think this guy has long term value in my opinion. His value could disappear at any time. It's not good to, I don't know, hold on to those guys. I would try to trade them. Dylan Wright, he have value. Even when Killian Hayes comes back, I think he should be getting 25 to 30 minutes. Really good assist and steals guy, and efficient point guard. Great game from him. And Josh Jackson, even with everybody out, he only got 21 minutes. So I don't know what's going on. He had a great game here, 21 points. In 21 minutes, he took 14 shots. So you can also stream him and roster him. You can, he's a bad free throw shooter. Let's go on to the next game, the Portland Trailblazers. Oh yeah, Dame Time hit a game winner, and then Luka had a pretty good look for 3 and missed it. Sucks for the Mavericks. And Portland, it's really impressive with all the injuries. What are they at? It's really, you gotta give Damian Lillard some credit. They're 16-10 for the season. Consider they didn't have Jusuf Nurkic, and McCollum only played 7-8 games. So it's basically Damian Lillard leading this team. And I guess you gotta give everybody else a little bit credit too, but it's mainly Damian Lillard. A great game here, 5 for 7 from the free throw line. He's a top 5 guy. With CJ McCollum out, I'm pretty confident in saying that. Gary Trent Jr., what he's gonna give you, points and threes. He give you that, and 1 steal. It's always nice. Kanter, 23 minutes. The minutes are pretty low this game because maybe they're playing the Mavericks, and he's pretty bad defensively. He should be getting close to 30 minutes every night. Give you double every single night, and a huge field goal guy. 6 for 7 here. 1 steal, yeah. He doesn't give you a lot of steals, so anytime he give you that, you can celebrate. And Robert Covington, 4 steals, 5 threes. Finally shot the ball pretty well. Guys like Robert Covington are just so good in fantasy and category leagues because very low turnover, give you the defensive stats, which is the most valuable ones in fantasy, and hit threes, grab you some rebounds. So good for Lord. And most encouragingly, they play 38 minutes. So they're gonna need him all season. Be that defensive focused guy. Derrick Jones Jr. started, he mainly give you defensive stats. And Carmelo, he really embraced his role on this team. 31 minutes here. He's still bad from the field, but just doing a little bit of everything. I'll be happy to stream Carmelo for some points and even some defensive stats as crazy as it may sound. He's been averaging like 0.8 steals, 0.8 blocks, and that's good. That's good enough for me if I need those two categories, especially if they have a back-to-back. On the Mavericks side, Luka went off again. Insane from the free throw, efficiency from the free throw, from the field, but just no defensive stats. But I'm not surprised Luka goes out for 44 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds. It's just the defensive stats that I'm watching Luka in fantasy, and his free throw. Josh Richardson, 25 minutes, give you three assists and a steal. He's not a must roster guy, but the minutes is pretty high most nights. Porzingis 18, 8, and 2 blocks. That's what Porzingis does. Only took 9 field goal attempts. That's somewhat concerning. Him and Luka should getting majority of the touches. I don't know why he only got 9 this game. Maxie Cleaver, you mainly get him for threes and blocks. He gave you that. Only 25 minutes. Dorian Finney-Smith are still in a block. So all those Mavericks guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxie Cleaver, Josh Jackson, and Tim Hardaway Jr., all those guys, they're not must roster because they don't have a lot of assists. They don't have a lot of defensive stats. I mean, Maxie Cleaver does give you some blocks, which is valuable. They just don't have that one category that really pops up. But they all get high minutes, so you can all stream them or roster them. But just anytime they get hurt, you miss one game, you drop them. Right? The value they're providing is not that high. But you're probably not going to have that many guys on the waiver wire that are better than those guys. Team Hardaway Jr. 12 points, nothing else. Yeah, we know that. And interestingly, Jalen Brunson played 34 minutes. But with Luka around, he's just not going to get those assists. Right? Luka got 9 assists. The next guy is 3. Josh Richardson and Trey Burke. Let's go on to the next team. Wow, OKC beating the Milwaukee Bucks. What is going on? Bucks, Giannis, great game. 3 steals, 3 blocks, 10 assists, 17 rebounds. That's the Giannis we know. But due to his low free throw, his ranking in categories is never gonna be that high. Just because the free throw hurt you so much, right? He single-handedly lose you one category. But if you forget about the free throws, he's the top 10 guy at least. Ranked 37th in category leagues. But look at the volume stats. It's really crazy. Chris Middleton, 23 points, still in the block. Great game from Middleton. Took 22 shots here. But I just don't know he can be a 50, 40, 90 guy for the rest of the season, especially the 50% from the field part. Robin Lopez definitely, Brook Lopez, not Robin Lopez, definitely struggle. You still hold on to him for those blocks and threes. He's gonna struggle. He might have another few bad game or two. You can buy low, or maybe the owner just drop him, right? Because if he doesn't give you the blocks, there's no value, right? He hits some threes, yes, but there are many 3-point guys on the waiver wire. Brain Forbes, 32 minutes, not worried, not interested in him. And Dante DiVincenzo in the short term, yes. Drew Holiday is out, you grab him, and he's mainly just give you those steals. If the steals not there, you don't worry about him. Bobby Portis, just really playing really, really well this season. +6, 21 minutes in 28 minutes, 21 points in 28 minutes, giving you some good rebound, and some good field goal. He's doing that, and give you 3 steals this game. He's been averaging maybe close to 1 steal. He is definitely worth taking a look or stream for sure. On the Thunder side, with everybody out, Al Horford, he's a sell high. Sell high. It's just just don't like veterans on a losing team, on a young team, because their minutes, is gonna go lower and lower and lower as the season goes on. With everybody out, sure, he got 30 minutes, and he's ranked 40th for the season. First of all, with everybody back, Horford is not gonna be a top 40 guy, right? Because you got Shea out, you got all those guys out. And he was playing really, really poor start of the season. And with everybody getting hurt, he kind of has to take over as the only veteran on this team. So I would sell high for sure. Derrick Beasley had one of his best games. 18 points, good efficiency, 2 threes, 2 steals. He's going to be up and down. His efficiency is really, really rough. And he's not blocking shots. I would roster him, see what happens if I'm in a good spot. But okay, moving on from him. Kendrick Williams, you can definitely roster this guy before Shea comes back. Really, really good value. I think he also had an 8 assist game 2 games ago. Give you some steals, a little bit blocks, good efficiency. He's worth a look. until stream him until Shea comes back. Lu Dort, high minutes, 7 turnovers. I don't know why he's, I don't know how he got his 7 turnovers. He got 2 assists here. Struggle from the free throw. Not interesting, Lu Dort. In fantasy, he's just not friendly. Justin Jackson, 22 points. Nothing. 5 assists. Wow. Is that a career high for him? And a steal. Everybody out, not worried. Like I said, you can stream all those guys until Shea comes back. Hamidou Diallo, he's the guy with, probably the most upside. Really shit the bed here. 3 for 16, 13 rebound. You stream him for sure until Shea comes back. Given the minutes, he put up big stats. I mean, if he just had an okay game, like a 40% shooting, he would score like 13 points and 13 rebounds, 3 assists and still. That's a good game. He really struggled this game. It's just one bad game versus this Milwaukee Bucks team, who's pretty good defensively inside the paint, specifically. Let's move on to the next team, Orlando Magic. The Suns, they're rolling at the moment. Magic, not so much with all the injuries going on. Vucevic continues to carry, but not enough, a minus 20. Terrence Ross, in the short term, yes. Terrence Ross, Michael Carter-Williams, in the short term, you want to grab those 2 guys until Cole Anthony and Evan Fournier come back. When those 2 guys come back, Michael Carter-Williams not going to get a lot of minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and Terrence Ross going to come off the bench. At the moment, their value is really good, so grab them and, roll with them until those guys come back. I don't know what's up with Evan Fournier. He just had some bad back injury. He's out for like a week. He's too good to drop, but I don't know if he's, don't know what's going on with him. Not interesting guys like Dwayne Bacon, Gary Clark. In Gary Clark's case, played 20 minutes, didn't do anything. I would much rather stream Terrence Ross, who took 23 shots. He also shot the ball horribly last game. So if he picked him up, I'll be really surprised if he won your field goal this week. Michael Carter-Williams does have good upside. His game fits fantasy pretty well. Assists and steals. Okiki get 28 minutes, didn't really do much. And Ken Burge, I like this guy. 33 minutes because his field goal is pretty good. But this season he's not grabbing enough rebounds, so you can also stream him until those guys come back. On the Suns side, Mikal Bridges, finally 2 steals. He's still averaging a ridiculous low amount of steals, 0.7 maybe after this game. If he can average 1.3, he'll be a top 40 guy. I don't really care about how well he shot the ball. It's just the 2 steals for me. Frank Kaminsky continued to start and not doing anything. DeAndre Ayton continued to give you 13 points, 13 rebounds every single game. So boring at this point. You just know what kind of, he's not getting any shot, back to the basket. The way the Suns are playing is just, hey, Ayton, go inside, grab some offensive rebound and playing defense. That's what we need to do. So he's kind of like playing Rudy Gobert type of role. I think he does offensively. He does have more moves. It just the Phoenix Suns, they're not using him like that. They would rather like the 2 guards, Chris Paul and Devin Booker, making plays, and DeAndre Ayton focus on playing defense. But the problem is he's just not giving you enough blocks. So that obviously sucks. He's a big bust this season. Devin Booker, 35 points. Good to see him getting 6 assists. Most importantly, he's just not going to be a top 15 guy. Maybe a top 40. Yeah, and the steal numbers is low. Chris Paul, after early season struggles, he figured it out. 2 steals here, 9 assists. Career-wise, he's a 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 steals guy. So not really worried in that aspect. 9 assists is really, really strong from Chris Paul. I still think he's a bit sell high. If anybody want to give you a top 30 guy, top 25 guy, I would do it. Jay Crowder played 24 minutes, didn't really, all his 13 attempts are from threes. So if you want some threes and some defensive stats and a little bit of rebound, Jay Crowder can give you that. Just weird, interesting decisions starting from Kaminsky, but not Jay Crowder or Cameron Johnson. I guess, that one power forward spot is, they're just still experimenting who to start. And second to last game of the night, we got quite a few games, is the Lakers losing to Denver. What a great win for Denver. The big news is Anthony Davis, left the game after first quarter, have some Achilles soreness. So it is worrying, but if you want to try to, my philosophy is you either go big or go home. If you can make a trade, it's very dangerous. Obviously, maybe Anthony Davis Achilles can really, I don't know, just pop. Who knows? We don't know. You can trade for him. Depending on how much risk you want to take. You obviously don't trade him for a top 20 guy at this point, but you can trade for a top 40 guy. I think an Anthony Davis owner might just take it. Or like a two top 50 guys. It's very risky, but if AD ends up being healthy, you can win your league, right? So just depend on if you want to take some risk. I mean, personally, I would if the owner is willing to trade AD to a two top 50 guy, I would, because he's a top 10 guy as bad as he's been playing, for the rest of this season. But there's obviously some risks with his Achilles injury. We'll see. We don't know how many games he's gonna miss. I think he's gonna do an MRI today. We're gonna see how severe it is. And maybe it's the best time to buy him because the owner might be panicking, right? Marcus saw 18 minutes, didn't really do much. KCP 18 minutes, not interested. I think Kyle Kuzma maybe is worth taking a look. He's been playing really, really well, and we know what he does. Give you some points and rebounds. If you need those two categories, worth taking a look. He can hit some threes as well. Daniel Shooter, really not worth rostering him full time. And Montrezl Harrell took 3 shots in 24 minutes. Those two guys, I understand if you drop Harrell, you're not gonna get a bigger field goal guy anchored on the waiver wire, but it's tough. The roster spot is, this level of production is, I don't know. In 12-team league, it's hard to hold on to him, but he will pop off occasionally. So the best thing to do is after he has a one game or two, package him, right, with a hot player for low performing player. I just wouldn't hold on to him. Denver Nuggets, a lot of injuries going on. Gary Harris is hurt, and what's his name? Paul Millsap also left the game. So Michael Porter Jr. should be getting a majority of the minutes. Play 30 minutes here. I mean, he had a bad game. I'm not worried. If he's getting 30 minutes, he's been averaging over 1 block a game this season. Eventually he will turn it around. I have no worries in him. It's just the minutes. If he's playing 30 minutes, I'm happy. Jokic, 35 minutes, 23, 16, just huge numbers every single game. Jokic just got to do it out for this Denver team this season. Really strong. Should be a top 2 guy pretty comfortably. Jamal Murray had one of his best games, but still, no defense, no steals. It's just hard to crack top 50 even without the steal. Look at Trae Young. Like, how ridiculous his points. I mean, 26 is really, really good. Like, how many assists he's getting, how big of a free throw impact he's getting. But in category leagues, in 9 category, he's only ranked 45 because there's no defensive stat. It's just hard in fantasy to be ranked top 40, 50 if you have no defense. Like Jamal Murray or Trae Young. Monty Morris, 30 minutes. Just efficient point guard, but doesn't really have eye-popping numbers. Right? And because without all the guys out, some bench guys have some, I don't know who this is. Zeke. This guy got his 24 minutes pretty well, and this guy also, but I'm not really interested in those guys. I think Jokic is going to have the ball in his hands most of the time and take most of the usage. Those guys probably come playing defense and hit some corner threes. Let's move on to the next game. Grizzlies, easy win over the Kings. Let's talk about Dylan Brooks a little bit. I kept saying he's a droppable guy when JJJ comes back. But if he shoots the ball like this and getting you 1.3 steals, you roster him. But I'll be ready to drop him whenever his shooting fall off. For now, this guy does this every season. There will be a period of time where he shoots the ball really well. So when he does that, you hold. Otherwise, you drop because it's, he might turn around. But even when he's shooting like this, he's give you 20 points, 2 steals, and nothing else, right? So you hold on to him for now. Kyle Anderson also a great game. You hold on to him. But this Grizzlies team, they got so many guys can come off the bench and contribute. So, you hold on to both guys, see what happens. If they fall off, you drop them. I wouldn't look back. I wouldn't think too much. Valanciunas, you don't drop this guy ever. Starting center on this team, 25 and 13, really, really strong. And you know what he does, good field goal rebound, right? And good free throw. But not a lot of blocks for a center. Grayson Allen, 30 minutes. He's been playing over 30 minutes. So you can take a look at him, stream him, do whatever you need to do with him. And Ja Morant continue to struggle from the field. What's up with his guy? Ever since he came back from the injury, maybe he was worse than last year since he came back. 16 points, 10 assists. I don't know when the last time he scored over 20. But the assist number is nice. No rebound, no steals, no blocks, no threes. And, he's a good efficiency guy. Now that's gone. I wouldn't even buy low on him. And I don't know. I'm worried. Buy really low. He's not going to be a top 20, 30 guy. It's not even close. Brandon Clark came back, played 21 minutes. You hold on to those guys until JJJ comes back, see what happens. He's still like a month away, maybe 3 weeks away. Xavier Tillman played 21 minutes, not interesting him. Tyus Jones, you're mainly streaming for assists and steals, 16 minutes here. And on the Kings side, Harrison Barnes played 30 minutes, only took 6 shots. Got you a steal, you still hold on to him. It's his best fantasy season in a while. It's a blowout. Everybody played pretty, low minutes. Rashawn Holmes, 22, you hold on to him. Really efficient guy, 1 block. Just a bad game. Buddy Hield, it's rough. Interesting to see where Buddy is ranked at this point. He's ranked 93rd. He had a couple of nice games, still ranked 93rd. And, the big thing with him is he give you good scoring and threes, but nothing else. For the season, 0.9 steals, that's more than I thought. 1 steal a game for Buddy, that's good enough. You hold on to him. De'Aaron Fox, 23 points, 9 assists, and a steal and a block. Good game from De'Aaron Fox. While the rookie, Tyrese Halliburton. He's not as good as Melo, because Melo give you greater volume, but the efficiency for this rookie is insane. 64% from the field, 4 assists and 2 steals, 22 points. If you picked up Tyrese Halliburton off the waiver, it's a great win for you as well. I don't think a lot of people drafted this guy. Bielitsa, you can stream him for sure in the short term. Really, really efficient guy. Can give you some blocks and steals. Corey Joseph somehow got 26 minutes. I'm not too worried about his production. He's pretty low, his production, given the high minutes. Also, it's a blowout. And let's talk about the last game of the day. The big news actually came out earlier today is the Andre Drummond. They said rest here, but hey, they traded him. They are trading him. That's really good news for Andre Drummond, and it's really good news for Jarrett Allen. I think Jarrett Allen should be a top 50 guy. If you own Jarrett Allen, he'll be free. He'll play 30 minutes a game. He will be really, really good. Here 15 and 10, but it doesn't really matter. He's gonna produce. He will get 30 minutes. We don't know when Andre Drummond will be traded. So if you own Drummond, you hold on to him. You listen to some offers, right? And you can buy low because we don't know. It might take a week. It might take two weeks. He might get traded today. We don't know how long. And until then, he's not gonna play. He's gonna take up a roster spot. So if your team is doing well, and the Drummond owner is struggling, you go make the trade. But Jarrett Allen immediately, starting today, he's gonna play 30 minutes. He's gonna give you 10 rebounds. He's gonna give you 2 blocks, right? So really, really good stuff for Jarrett Allen. He's freed, I think, finally. Carla Sexton and Darius Garland, they both put 20 points, a steal or 2. And Carla Sexton, weirdly, his free throw percentage is low. He should be an 85% free throw guy. I don't know what's been going on with him. He's really struggled. Minus 31. 20 points, horrible. Just horrible. Minus 27. Larry Nance Jr. eventually is going to return. And now that Andre Drummond is gone, Larry Nance Jr. does have some value. But Kevin Love is going to be the power forward. But Larry Nance's value goes up a little bit now that Drummond is gone. Not gone yet, but now going to play those minutes. On the Clippers side, PG is still out. I just don't know how, if PG comes back, is he going to be the same person? He really struggled last year with the shoulder thing. Now that his bone, don't know what's going on with him. Is he going to be the same guy when he comes back? We don't know. A lot of question marks. And he's shooting 50% from the field. If that falls off, he's going to be like a maybe top 30 guy. He's top 15 at the moment. So, And also Kawhi is out this game as well. So Lou Will went off. I think it's worth picking up Lou Will in the short term, see what happens. When PGA Kawhi comes back, maybe he has no value, but for now, you can pick him, see what happens. Once he got some confidence back, maybe he can continue doing this. Reggie Jackson, good game, 3 steals. Yeah, with all those guys out, it makes sense to stream him and Marcus Morris. Right, Batum filled up the stat sheet, 2 steals and a block, 3 points. That's good. Serge Ibaka had one of his great games. I think Serge Ibaka is really not worth, holding on him full time. It's more for stream. So is Zubac, only 14 minutes here. Patrick Beverly, he's worth rostering, I think, in 12 teams. Only 20 minutes, but he filled up the stat sheet this game versus his Cavaliers team. That's it for all the games. I'll see you guys later.